what it is, my Tenno, Peace and Grease here, and today we're going to be talking about the next potential primed Warframes. Now this is a really common question I get all the time, and that is, Peace, how do you know what frame is going to be primed next? Well, there are two factors. One is going to be whether or not DE is working on male Warframes or whether or not they're working on female Warframes, and we'll talk about that more in a minute. The second is the release order, and you can look this up yourself by using the keywords Warframe release order, and it's going to bring up a page that looks like this right here. Now this is the complete Warframe release order. Now obviously everything above the screenshot here is everything that's already been primed. But as we look at this list, you're going to see something pretty interesting, and that is that we had Ivara that was primed, and then we skipped over Nezha and Inaros and went straight to Titania to be primed. Now why was that? Well, this is what I was referring to earlier, because DE likes to push out primed frames in a 2x2 order, meaning 2 females, 2 males. So in this case, we had Ivara being primed, the first female, and then we needed a second female, so we went straight to Titania primed for the second female. So we're on to 2 male Warframes, and that's going to be either Nezha prime or Inaros prime. So how do we know which one is going to be primed? Well, we have to do a little bit of deductive reasoning here. Now, Nezha's in a pretty decent spot right now. Really all that would be required by DE would be to bump up his health his armor and or health and shields, and then put a nice shiny coat of prime paint job on Nezha, and boom, we now have our next prime. However, it's easier for me to say that than it is for DE to do, but you get the general idea. Inaros is a different matter altogether, and the reason why is because, well, people have been throwing around the word nerf in conjunction with Inaros. I know it sucks. I don't agree with it. I personally think the main people responsible for nerfs like this is probably those asshats and nitwits in the Warframe forum that want everything in their dog nerfed. But moving on, we won't talk about that anymore. So more than likely, Inaros is going to be nerfed. Now this is potentially a bad situation, because can you imagine if DE pushed out a Inaros Prime with a nerf? Yeah, that would suck. So ultimately, DE is going to have to nerf whatever it is that they're aiming for on Inaros, and then they're going to have to tweak and give us a little bit on the backside. They're going to have to buff something in conjunction with that nerf just to prime him. So with all that being said, it's a little bit more complicated with Inaros. But it depends on how long DE has been working on Inaros also. If they've been working on Inaros' subsequent nerf as well as priming for the last month or two, it's likely we may get Inaros as the next prime. Although my money is probably on Nezha being the next prime. But anyway, hopefully that helps you out. Gives you kind of a heads up in case you were contemplating throwing some type of resources on top of the regular Nezha or the regular Inaros, like a Forma, Aura Forma, Umbral Forma, a Reactor, or a Lens. It would suck to put any of those resources into either of these frames just for a couple months down the road to get them primed. Yeah. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comment section. And until next time, peace and grace.